North Carolina had a similar performance a couple of weeks ago in Raleigh en route to a victory. It's a semi-Richie Beno special, 42-2. We're underway. Identity. But it's picked up, and here they come, the Swans, as Kolkmeyer sends this one in. And going to pick that one up. Umpire says, give that to me. And we'll have a ball up. We saw Lemon in the back line. That's Jessica Koshan playing in the forward line. Friday whips it out. Down the line. Nice mark over the top by Clifton. Clifton sends it back. Juggled. Marked. Well, Bevan Charlton White has got to be up there in the best and fairest conversation. He's getting overshadowed by the Minnesota forwards at the moment, but he is playing out of his skull, and he delivers an amazing kick to Evan Danilo in the forward line. And Danilo will try and stem this tide. It'll be a 40-meter kick for Danilo. Perhaps even a little bit less than that. Danilo's kick is on the way. Looks good off the boot. Off to the side. Third point for the Swans. They just cannot keep pace either in quality or quantity. 2.5 to go. Minnesota 7 straight 42 on the Watch AFL scoreboard. Chicago 3 behind. 39 points the difference. And ball up on the far side now. Drops in front. Ball bounces away. The umpire says we'll have a ball up here like we're across from us. Brian Barish here with you. Great to have your company while you're joining us. And this third leg of the regional championship series as he goes off to get it. Turning around. Edeini sends this one in. Scooped up by Radke, who had the first goal. Goes backwards. Oh, Radke ran into his defender there. And he held his head over the football. 1 minute to go. And it came from the other field. Ball in the air. Ediini able to get it to Friday, but Friday wasn't able to handle it. Chicago trying to muscle it on. Friday, but the whistle came first. And are they paying this downfield? Or is that not the umpire? I see somebody in orange, and now they are coming down. They are going to pay this downfield, I think. Or they're going to give a 50-meter penalty, and it'll go to Josh Friday. Well, when you've got a team who has not missed, you don't want to give them any extra opportunities, and that is what the Freeze get here as Friday squeezes it in. And he does so on the siren. 8 straight 48, and that is a regionals record for most, tied to regionals record for most consecutive goals to start a game. At halftime, it's the Minnesota Freeze 48, the Chicago Swans 3. And as of right now, in 20 minutes of football, the Freeze have managed to completely negate the deficit that they lost to North Texas against They are exactly at 100%. North Texas currently playing St. Louis on that other field, however. And unless St. Louis can lay into the Devils and bring that down, North Texas is in a very good position. But the Freeze have to be happy. Coach Dale Williams has to be smiling like a butcher's dog after seeing his team boot 8 straight to start. We'll be back for the second half of this fourth game here from Olathe. This is the 2025 USAFL National Central Regional Championships presented by Tasmanian here on USAFL.com.
This presentation of the USAFL is brought to you by Tasmanian. Quietly pursue the extraordinary. Cooper's, Australian made and owned. Cooper's Beer. Odin Mortgage and Tax. CyberSolve IQ, the cybersecurity partner of the USAFL. HBC Event Services. Premier Sports Medicine. And visit Tucson Sports.
Back here for the second half of this second game of Division I is the Chicago Swans taking on the Minnesota Freeze. The Freeze, on the strength of 8 consecutive goals to start this game, lead the Bloods from the Windy City 48-3. Brian Barish back here with you. Glad to have you along wherever you're joining us around the world, thanks to our YouTube and Aussie Rules USA. And a reminder that if you're in the Denver, Colorado area, you can join us for the fourth and final leg of the great traveling Aussie Rules Roadshow as the Western Regional Championships with 17 or so different clubs across 5 divisions, including 2 women's divisions, will occur on Saturday, July 19th at the Westminster City Park in Westminster, Colorado. But that is in 3 weeks' time, and we have 2.5 more games to deal with here. And the Minnesota Freeze, as we said, 8 straight games 8 straight goals to start the game, tying both North Carolina and Orange County in 2015 with 8 straight goals. Let's see if they can make it 9 in a row as they're underway, as the weather, which has warmed up. It's 84 degrees now. The real feel is right at 85, so it has gotten warmer as the game's gone on and as the afternoon has gone on. And these teams playing 3 games over the course of the day is a lot. The strongest team that can survive it will be the champions. Adeniji has the football. He ran about almost his complete 15-meter measure. He comes out to the near side where it's marked by Evan Danilo. Danilo waits, kicks. In the middle of the ground now, almost taking the mark. Goes to get it, and then, should be high tackle, and it is. And the play advantage. Here is Edwards. Chicago trying to get their first goal. And I don't know what that was from Jory Marinan. It was a flying kung fu kick. But there's the behind by Daniel Stevens as he concedes it. And he's lucky. In the AFL, I think they would have required a little bit more pressure for that to not be penalized. But no such rule in the USAFL. 4th behind for the Swans. Back to a 44-point lead. And it's picked off. Waiting for everybody to set up. Right-footed kick. Marked in front. Got a little bit of separation. And they're still looking for their first goal. And once again, it is Devin Charlton-White. We'll go back and have the old crack. Charlton-White gets one back. That is his 5th goal of the day, first of the game. Swans are on the 1-4-10 on the Watch AFL scoreboard. Back to 38 points, Minnesota 8 straight 48. The Swannies, we mentioned a little bit earlier, they have a very interesting history. There have been multiple clubs in the Chicago area other than the Swans. And I think of the Chicago Sharks, the Illinois Ironmen as well. And there was a time when the Sharks and the Swans had merged together and they were officially Chicago United. But they shed that in 2012, and they've just been known as the Swans ever since. Gonna get picked up. Big tackle thrown in by Caffey. And he earns the free kick. Kieran Caffrey. You can hear him calling Caff. He has Callahan on the left side, decides to go right, kind of center right. Marked. And chasing that one all the way back was Georgiadis, and he finds another connection. Could this be a record? It is. There is the new USAFL Regionals record for goals in a row. The Minnesota Freeze, 9 straight 54 to Chicago, 1-4-10. And I'm not 100% sure as to what the most goals in an entire game is without a behind, but I don't know that I've ever seen a team score 9 or more straight goals over the course of an entire game. Well, the Freeze looking really good to go in 1-1. Plenty of time, though, as Robertson sends this one down. Marked again. Arias waits. Gets under this one a little bit. Contest will form. Drops in front of By. Cleared out by C. Stewart. Dropped by O'Shaughnessy. Comes out to Friday. Stays with the football. Poked forward. Gets it out. Gonna get picked up. Wheels it around. Here is Robertson again. Drops in front of Friday, who got it on the second bite of the cherry. Kolkmeyer was bodied off the ball. Turns it over. Weird handball out for C. Stewart. Gets knocked down. They're just keeping the ball in front of him. Barton was held off the ball. Minnesota's got it back again. Bye. Good contest with Choksey. First name we've called his name this afternoon. Here is Callahan, and that ends the streak. Callahan was trying to draw it back from right to left, but it didn't come back, and that is the first blemish in 10 scoring shots in 25, almost 26 minutes of play. 9-1-55 for Minnesota, 1-4-10 Chicago, 6 gone second half. And very curious to know what's happening in that other field between North Texas and St. Louis. Player is down for Chicago. Meanwhile, Minnesota is going to get a free kick in front off the mark. Cuts it across to McLuhan. There's the 10th of the game. Mark McLuhan scores. Meanwhile, a Swan player just now getting up is O'Shaughnessy. But in the meantime, Minnesota is at 10-1-61. Chicago 1-4-10. 51 points. And now we will blow time off. Chris Williams is in checking on O'Shaughnessy, and the umpire says, let's rotate. I'll come back in the middle once again. Remember, we've got 2 more games after this. Essentially the Division II Grand Final between Oklahoma and Nashville. And then the Chicago team will take on North Texas. Mark taken by Arias, sending that one down, but it's picked off. And a good job of Clifton to come back and take the mark. Clifton out to the near side now. There is Charlton White, who sends this one down, but it's turned over. They've got Charlton White now playing in the back line. And dropping the pill there was Caffery. And he lost the ball, turned it over. Handball over the top. There now is Charlton White, who's snuck up. Big hit. Like that the commercial in Mr. Baseball. Big hit, happy body. Ball comes up. Now out to the near side. Caffery gets the ball. Handball, couldn't handle it though. One-on-one contest, good body put in. Staying with it is Choksey. Got tackled. Robertson. Mark is paid by Friday, who took it in front of the late arriving Danilo. And Josh Friday, who does his best work on Saturday, handballs it off to Chris Williams. Over the head of Adini. Cleared out. Marked by Friday. Right back from where it came from. Into the pocket. Ball's over in the corner. And boundary throw-in appears to be upcoming. Picked off by the Blues. Rather by the Freeze as the ball comes across. Had a momentary lapse there. That's what happens when you sit in the sun for 4 hours. Boundary throw-in. Minnesota up by 51 points. They're on the sunny side of the percentage sign for now. And they'll get another point here as that one dribbles through. 10-2-62. Chicago 1-4-10. Almost 7 minutes gone. Comes out to the near side now. Marked. Choxy gets it right quickly. Right in front. Picked up. This is Bjornsson, who sends it up high. McLuhan was there. Bjornsson overruns it. Whistle and free kick for an off-the-ball infraction. So it will come to Bjornsson. Bjornsson decides to go wide, and sending this one on the way is Arias, but he's missed. 10-3-63 Minnesota, 1-4-10 Chicago. It's on the Watch AFL scoreboard. Brian Barish here with you, and I started to stop the clock. It didn't start it after the reset. So the guess will be a guess. Mark taken. Caution sends this one out. Marked. This is Edwards. Going to get picked off by Edeniyi, who didn't handle it but sends it back. Kick was not great. Bounces around. Arias makes two defenders miss, but not the third as he had it slapped out of his hand, and C. Stewart's able to clear. Cliff Charlton White not able to get it, and he bear hugs Ian Robertson and gives him a little bit of a hug, a little bit of a throw afterwards. It's knocked down. Out to the near side, kicked up, one-on-one contest. They chase after it. Wins it right in front of us. Picked up by Robertson, who is taken over the line. Great job by Edwards and Robertson. Good hard football. The boundary throw-in right in front of Jerry Long, Max, our cameraman, and yours truly. Ball comes spinning back in the play. Edeniyi, they're calling for a throw. And it'll be a free kick to the Swans. They trail by 53 points. Ball will come back in the play. Edeniyi going up. Cleared out. There's a chance for Cowan. Mark taken by Minnesota. He'll get it out of there quickly. Sending it back from which it came. Drops in front. Turns for goal. That again was Danilo. Oh, big tackle. Is he pinged? No, umpire says there was no prior opportunity, and he hugs himself. We're past the midway point of this second half. Minnesota is going to even their record. Chicago's going to drop the 1-1. And North Texas, if they're able to account for St. Louis, will be in the catbird seat heading into the final game against Chicago. Gets it out. Long drive there. Push him in the back, absolutely. As that was Clifton, who was pushed in the back by Radke. And so Clifton will have a free kick. Center half forward line. Goes in, and he's going to turn it over. Swans got to be a little bit cleaner with some of these kicks, one feels, as Robertson sends this one back. Played on the Arias, sending this one down. And here's Zach Weaver. Big hit from behind. Stays in the field of play. Goes across the face, and it's marked in front. And it's Jory Marinan who will go back, and you can hear them say, have a kick, Jory. 60-degree angle. That'll be the main issue here. No issue for Jory Marinan. He kicks his team's 11th. 11-3, 69 lemon chicken for the Minnesota Freeze. 1 for scallion pancakes. That's 10 for Chicago. With, I want to say, roughly about 7 minutes to go. And so Minnesota, not only have they recouped their deficit from that 45-point loss, but they are putting themselves in a position to where they'll be best if there's a three-way tie. They'll be in a good percentage position, although North Texas, with that large victory, depending on how they do against St. Louis, North Texas may very well wrap up this division with one game to play. But plenty of time. Robertson sends it down. Spoiled out the back. Callahan looking for Arias. Weaver was intending to give it to him, but couldn't find the handle. Ball goes down as Chokshi. Picked up by Arias. Looks for goal. Ends up across the face. Boundary throwing upcoming. Ball comes back in, goes to ground. There is C. Stewart looking for Edwards. Goes up inside 50. Clears it out. Chicago. There is again is Charlton White going after it. So too is McKern. Ball's out. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Under 5 minutes to go. Minnesota up 69-10. That's on the Watch AFL scoreboard. Brian Barish here with you. Thanks to Tasmanian, Coopers, Visit Olathe, Premier Sports Medicine. Going after it is Caution. Jessica Caution and Rose Lemon, two women playing out there for the Chicago Swans today. Ball comes spinning back in the play. Tina Judge from Des Moines, we saw a little bit earlier. Oh, good job to effect the kick by Bergiatis. Able to get it away. There is Arias, who tried to keep it in front of him. Chokshi will send this back in for the Swannies. There's a chance in the pocket. Danilo sees the ball goes out of bounds. Ball comes back in the play. Gets knocked down. Friday gets it out. Bergiatis is there. Spins it away. Almost marked. Bit of a swan sandwich there. Scooped up by McKern. Sending that one in. That is not our field. They'll play on. There's definitely two distinct horn sounds. That the higher pitch is not us. And taking the mark in front and going back is Radke, who kicked the first goal of the 11 that the Freeze have scored. He's going to try to add the 12th. It's on the way. It's across the face. Oh! Circus catch made by Mackenzie Callahan, and he decided to play on, and all of that they're not going to be able to get. He was trying to open up the angle a little bit. Soccer off the ground. Cleared out. And that's us, I think. That is, in fact, us, and that will do it. Well, the Minnesota Freeze have even their record at 1-1, and they have reversed their heavy defeat in the opening game with a heavy defeat of the Chicago Swans. The final score on the Watch AFL scoreboard, it's the Minnesota Freeze 11-3-69. Chicago 1-4-10, 59 points the difference. And the Minnesota Freeze setting a new USAFL Regionals record with 9 straight goals. That is straight kicks to start a game. And they go on to the victory, and they even their record at 1-1. And Chicago also at 1-1 with their heavy defeat. That will make things very difficult. And of course, we'll await to hear the score from the North Texas St. Louis game. If North Texas wins, it will be very difficult, I feel, for any team. They're playing Chicago. It'll be very difficult for any team to catch up on them. North Texas would need to lose by a lot, and then either Minnesota or Chicago would have to win by a lot. So the last game of the day here for Division I will come up at 3:30 as Chicago will take on North Texas. Minnesota will play St. Louis over on Field 2. We have one more Division II game, and it is essentially a de facto grand final. It's the 2-0 Nashville Kangaroos and the 2-0 Oklahoma Buffaloes. We'll have that for you coming up at, 2:15 local time, so in about 25 minutes' time. We hope you'll join us then. Until then, you're watching the 2025 USAFL Central Regional Championships from Olathe, Kansas, presented by Tasmanian here on AussieRulesUSA.com.
This presentation of the USAFL is brought to you by Tasmanian. Quietly pursue the extraordinary. Cooper's, Australian made and owned. Cooper's Beer. Odin Mortgage and Tax. CyberSolve IQ, the cybersecurity partner of the USAFL. HBC Event Services. Premier Sports Medicine. And Visit Tucson Sports.